Good morning. Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Wednesday, May the 29th. We are here to look at the new releases being set into the wild each week. Today being Wednesday, we are looking at the romances. So quick announcements. It's Wednesday night, so I do not have sprints tonight. I do have them tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. I do every Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and then again on Saturday afternoons at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, and those go for 5 hours. All righty. Hope you had a good night. Don't worry, you don't need to watch this live if it is too early for you. I do repost these so you can watch them later at your leisure. We are looking at romances-ish. Kristen Higgins has a new one. Look on the bright side. Lark Smith has always had a plan for her life. Find a fantastic guy, create a marriage as blissful as her parents, pop out a couple of kids, and build a rewarding career as an oncologist. Keo, stop. He's scratching where he shouldn't be. He scratched too much, so now there's an ouch. Things aren't going so well. For one, the guy didn't work out. Theoretically, she'd love to find someone else, but it hasn't happened. Two, she's just been transferred out of oncology for being too emotional. Is it her fault she's a weeper? Three, her parents just split up. Deviating from the plan was, well, not in the plan. A potential solution comes from the foul-tempered and renowned surgeon Lorenzo Santini, aka Dr. Satan. He needs a date this summer for his sister's wedding. His ancient noni wants to see him settled. In exchange, he could make a few introductions and maybe get Lark back into the field of her choice. As a sucker for old people and fake relationships, Lark agrees. Teeny problem. She instantly falls for his big warm family, especially his estranged brother. Meanwhile, Lark's mom has moved in with Lark's colorful landlady, Joy, and an unlikely friendship blossoms. The three women have a long summer and a big, beautiful house on the ocean to figure out what's next, and quite possibly learn that the best things in life aren't planned at all. Tate, Hockey Royalty, book number 2 by Victoria Denault. Second, as it says here. She's always been off limits, but when she shows up with my baby, it's a game changer. I'm the only son of one of the best forwards in the history of hockey. I play for a team on the brink of winning the cup, and I'm about to break one of my dad's league's records. Life is absolutely golden. Until Mallory Eccles comes to my game in Los Angeles with a baby. She says the little guy is mine, and as soon as I see his green eyes and the dimple in his pudgy chin, I know she's not lying. The tragic twist? It's not Mallory's baby. An awful accident on the other side of the world took his birth mom, and now I'm all he's got. Well, me and my 97 relatives. Once I find the guts to tell them. Mallory offers to stay in LA and help with the baby until I can wrap my head and my life around him. She's amazing with my son. She always knows what to do and what to say, and was she always this gorgeous? Our families back home hate each other, so just being friends with her was always a risk. Now the stakes are higher than ever. My son needs her, and I can't stop the feelings I have from growing stronger. I always take my shot on the ice, but do I dare take this one? That's not a bad cover. Twelfth Night by Alexine Farrell Falmouth. And Reese has deemed this one worthy. Viola Reyes is annoyed. Her painstakingly crafted tabletop game campaign was shot down. Her best friend is suggesting she try being more likable. And her school star running back, Jack Orsino, are we stealing from Shakespeare much? Is the most lackadaisical student body president she's ever seen, which makes her job as VP that much harder. Vi's favorite escape from the world is the MMORPG 12th Night, but online spaces aren't exactly kind to girls like her, girls who are extremely competent and have the swagger to prove it. So Vi creates a masculine alter ego, choosing to play as a knight named Cesario to create a safe haven for herself. But when a football injury leads Jack Orsino to the world of Twelfth Night, Vi is alarmed to discover their online alter egos, Cesario and Duke Orsino, are surprisingly well matched. As the long nights of game playing turn into discussions about life and love, Vi and Jack soon realize they've become more than just weapon wielding characters in an online game. But Vi has been concealing her true identity from Jack, and Jack might just be falling for her offline. Summer Fridays by Suzanne Rendell. You've got mail for a new generation, it says. Yeah, you can't tell original stories. Summer 1999. 20-something Sawyer is striving to make it in New York. Between her assistant job in publishing, her secret dreams of becoming a writer, and her upcoming wedding to her college boyfriend, her plate is full. Her is plate full. That's what it says right there. Her is plate full. Only one problem. She is facing an incredibly lonely summer as her fiance has been spending longer and longer hours at work with an all too close female colleague, Kendra. When Kendra's boyfriend Nick invites Sawyer to meet up and compare notes about their suspicions, the meeting goes awry. She finds Nick cocky and cynical, and he finds her stuck in her own head. But then Nick seeks out Sawyer online to apologize, and a friendship develops. Soon Sawyer's lonely summer takes an unexpected turn. She and Nick begin an unofficial ritual, exploring New York City together every summer Friday. From hot dogs on the Staten Island Ferry and sea breezes in a muggy East Village bar to swimming at Coney Island, Sawyer feels seen by Nick in a way that surprises her. He pushes her to be braver, to ask for what she wants. Meanwhile, Sawyer draws Nick out of his hard shell, revealing a surprisingly vulnerable side. They both begin living for their Friday afternoons together. What happens when the summer is over? All's Fair in Love and War, Miss Prentice's Proteges, book number one of a potential series, it looks like, by Virginia Heath. A Regency romp of a series. A governess who believes in cultivating joy in her charges clashes with the children's uncle who hired her only to fall herself finding in love. When Harry Kincaid's flighty older sister decides to join her husband on an Egyptian expedition, Harry, a former naval captain, is left in the lurch, minding her three unruly children and giant mad dog. No, they have servants. But Harry has a busy career at the Admiralty that requires all of his attention, and he has no clue how to manage the little rascals or when his sister is coming back. In desperation, he goes to Miss Prentice's school for young ladies, prepared to pay whatever it takes to hire an emergency governess, quick, sharp, to ensure everything in his formerly ordered house is run shipshape again. Thanks to her miserable, strict upbringing, fledgling governess Georgie Rowe does not subscribe to the ethos that children should be seen and not heard. She believes childhood should be everything hers wasn't, filled with laughter, adventure, and discovery. Thankfully, the three Pendleton children she has been tasked with looking after are already delightfully bohemian and instantly embrace her unconventional educational approach. Their staid stickler for the rules uncle, however, is another matter entirely. Georgie and Harry continue to butt heads over their differences, but with time it seems that in this case their attraction is undeniable and all is indeed fair in love and war. Oh, previously published. Moving on. Resilient Portrait of a Woman by Carrie Lee Harmon. After 20 years of marriage, Zoe Robinson's husband left to go backpacking across the U.S. and find himself. but all he found was that he didn't want to be a husband or father anymore. Devastated but resilient, Zoe has spent the last 2 years picking up the pieces of her life and starting over. Her children have issues, her house is falling apart, and her catering business isn't enough to pay the bills. Thank goodness for chilled wine and best friends because 40 isn't looking so fabulous. Her weekly girls' night is what is keeping her sane. Zoe's persistent mother just wants to see her happy, but Zoe insists she's fine on her own. She's focusing on taking her catering business to the next level as a party planner, despite her relentless competition sabotaging her every step of the way. She's come to like sleeping in the middle. Her feet might get cold, but there's no risk of her warm heart getting broken again. Until she meets the charming younger Dr. Chaz Anderson, who is more than willing to help with an offer she's finding hard to refuse. Zoe must find whether to stay in control and in the middle or choose a side and let someone in. Summer on Highland Beach by Sunny Hostin, Summer Beach number 3. In this awakening, spirited novel, blah, 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 founded in the late 1800s by the son of Frederick Douglass, Highland Beach along the Chesapeake Bay is the oldest black resort community in America. Inside this proud and secluded beach community of about 100 private homes is Olivia Jones's legacy. But Olivia's legacy, there's no being left out the I there. Sorry, grammar police, spelling police, comes with thorns. Intertwined are secrets of her aunt's death, a controlling grandmother who is determined to crush anyone or anything that will interfere with her son's political career, and a father who wants to rebuild the family he rejected decades ago. In the midst of tense family drama, Olivia must decide if she wants to return to the beautiful life she's created in Sag Harbor with the neighbors and wonderful man who've become central to her happiness, or finally achieve her dream of having a family and home to call her own in Highland Beach. The Curious Secrets of Yesterday by Namrata Patel. Raised by her mother and grandmother and tutored in the healing wonders of spices, Tulsi Gupta is expected to carry on the ancestral tradition from her family's Salem spice shop. Restless and reluctant, Tulsi yearns to follow her own path. Destiny has other plans. When Tulsi finds a letter written by her grandmother, addressed and never sent, that speaks of a long ago betrayal, she decides to unravel the mystery as a distraction. But Tulsi stumbles into much more than she bargained for. With each new discovery, she learns there's much more to her mother and grandmother than their expertise in the remedial aromas of coriander and cloves. When an attractive neighbor begins renovating the shuttered deli next door, Tulsi finds the courage to break her routine and chase the unexpected. As Tulsi digs into the past and secrets come to light, she's determined to heal old family wounds and find her true purpose, and maybe even love, every step of the way. The Promise of Tomorrow. When Olympia leaves her small Virginia town, she doesn't expect to look back, much less ever come home. But after a year on the road, her sister's engagement pulls Olympia into everything she left behind: her family, her husband, and the grief she's been trying to forget. She's determined to stay a few days, maybe a week, just enough to visit gravestones and sign off on the divorce her husband Spencer asked for. But he's reeling from their shared loss as well as complications with his aging parents, leaving his heart just as fragile as Olympia's. The more time they spend in each other's orbit, the less sure they are they'll be able to walk away for good. As family secrets come to light and family bonds stretch to the breaking point, Olympia must decide where she's going next and where she belongs. She's used to coping with life's complications alone, but maybe the best way to heal is together. This comes out on Saturday. Elephant and Castle by Hannah Ledford. If only there was a guidebook on how to land the London boy of your dreams. Nora Shrapson is literally writing the book on London, and she's not going to let fantasies about her sexy British ex-boyfriend break her stride. So what if she has been reunited with semi-famous rock star Hugh Jeffries, and their chemistry is still palpable? He's engaged, and Nora needs to focus on anything besides Hugh's lips. Julian Rhodes is Hugh's best mate, and his secret feelings for Nora are one thing that won't stay in the past. When a desperate Nora begs him to help her navigate London, Julian has to say yes, strictly to keep her from getting fired, of course. Surely they can go to murder tours, magic shows, and museums without any feelings getting in the way. No problem. But the more time Nora and Julian spend together, the less Nora finds herself thinking of Hugh. Maybe her second chance romance didn't go according to plan, but that doesn't mean Nora could ever fall for her ex's best friend, right? And we got a little touch of fantasy here on this last one. Bespelled by Laura Thalassa, second in the Bewitched series. No one told witch Selena Bowers having a soulmate would be so difficult, nor did they warn her that he might be a vengeful ancient sorcerer who would frame her for murder, force her to remember a past life he swears she lived, and then coerce her into an unbreakable marriage pact. But that's exactly what happens the night of the Samhain ball when Selena finds herself in a jail cell. After waking from enchanted sleep, Memnon swore to discover why Selena betrayed him long ago. But when his soulmate's memories return, the truth reveals something else entirely. Horrified by his own actions and desperate to make amends, Memnon offers Selena the unthinkable, a magic bond that will give her full control over his will, and Selena is desperate enough to accept it. Excuse me? But other enemies still haunt Henbane Coven, Selena's magical academy, and they've taken a keen interest in her. If she wants to stop them, she'll need Memnon's help. But partnering with the sorcerer is a tricky business, especially when he's dead set on winning her heart. But that can't happen because the bond controlling him will break the moment she falls in love with him. Let's see what that first one looked like. Bewitched. I like the covers. He's got a good cover or creator or. Well, that is all I had, and I was really looking. There were not a whole lot of romance this week for some reason. But tomorrow we'll be looking at fantasy and science fiction. And hopefully we'll have some good options to look at there. Again, no sprints tonight. I don't do them on Wednesday nights, but we will have them tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours every Tuesday and Thursday evening. And then I have them again on Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And those go for 5 hours. So this is time carved out for you to read or be creative or just close your eyes and relax or be productive, whatever it is you want to do in that time. That is time for you. On Friday, the morning show will be looking at, hopefully, if I get things going together, looking at historical mysteries again. I'm having another readathon in June. In January, we had the Midwinter Hiss Mist. And so now for summer, Midsummer Hiss Mist is all of the month of June as kind of an homage to the Midsummer's Night's Dream. Yes, I'm borrowing from Shakespeare. So this is the Midsummer Hiss Mist, and we'll be reviewing some historical mysteries that maybe you might be interested in trying or want to hear more about, etc. I hope you have a very good Wednesday. And let me set that aside. Hope you're reading good books. Remember, it's okay if you are not enjoying a book to set it down. It's just pausing. It's not a reflection of you. It's not a reflection of the author or the book. It's just not the right time for those three things to come together. You can come back to it later. There are always other books to try. So reading is enjoyable. You don't have to suffer through something that isn't the right time for. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Om nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.